Have any of your concerns been assuaged in the last 12 hours or so?
Look, we continue to talk with both sides of government, both states, and putting our case as a community on how we need to see some practicalities put into place. So we've absolutely got open doors and open ears, so those conversations continue. I guess our biggest concern is that it's just hours away until we see the border close, and yet we still don't have detail of what that looks like.
And what about you, Kevin? What are your biggest concerns at the moment?
Look, the level of communication has been very limited, but look, I applaud the Premier for doing what she's done. It's the right thing to do, but as two leaders in our community, we need to disseminate that information clearly to our community and give them an understanding that you mentioned the permit system. As I understand it, the permit system will be a one-off permit for border residents. They'll be able to be in a situation of business as usual. So the essential travel you mentioned will be anyone outside those postcodes. So hopefully that is the process. My concern is congestion and the issue with getting to and from the two cities, and we're 5 minutes apart. I mean, let's think about that for a moment.
Well, yeah, Anna, just talking on that permit situation there, so can you just elaborate on that? When Kevin says it's a one-off, that doesn't mean just, crossing the border once, does it? That sort of means that you're able to go to and fro as you wish, or is it different? What's your understanding?
Well, yeah, look, pretty late last night I did get some information fed through to me about a specialised permit for Albury-Wodonga so that it would enable that, required travel between the two cities. So as yet the details aren't through, so what does that look like in terms of permit controls? Where will they be? Where will the checkpoints be? How will our locals be able to move fairly freely across the border? Because whether it be coming across for a medical appointment, work, school, we need to be able to continue to move. We've got more than 50,000 car movements a day, so we need to be able to facilitate that.
Kevin, what sort of trouble are you expecting at the border, and do you think this decision was made too quickly, given that there's so much that you don't know?
Oh, no, the only thing I sort of caution is that they've learnt a lot from the Queensland experiment, and they should have probably had some pre-planning in place, and I don't know what that looks like, because clearly it hasn't been great, because Service New South Wales aren't up and running at this point, and certainly there are no clear ideas about what's going on. I think the only thing I think is the two of us, our council should have been consulted early days, like even Friday. Look, this is getting worse. We need to consider Plan B. But the one thing I do mention is that border permit will be available right along the border to South Australia. So that's the border communities all the way to South Australia will have the same opportunity to have that one-off permit for the duration of the closure to go to and from their two locations.
Anna, how tough is this going to be for businesses, and how many do you believe won't be able to survive this?
Well, look, it's just seemed to be continuous this year. We had really bad fires. Obviously, just like the rest of the nation, in fact, the world, businesses have been impacted by COVID-19. But we have seen two sets of rules here, which has been pretty difficult even the last couple of months between Victoria and New South Wales. This adds yet another layer.
Yeah.
So, look, they are hurting. Some parts of our businesses are really hurting. Others are doing well, but some are really hurting.
Kevin, do you still believe, and we had Matt Canavan, the Senator, on our show a little bit earlier, who suggested that, he's got great sympathies for regional areas that don't have any cases of COVID-19. I know Albury's got 2 cases now, but do you believe that the ring fence should be more towards Melbourne rather than these regional areas?
Yeah, look, I think we need be a little bit more selfish about that. I think it should be further down, but the logistics involved there. Victoria Police, the services down there are already at full peak, and they wouldn't be able to cope with it, to be honest. And I think to ring lock or to shut down Melbourne would be an ADF role, and I don't know how the hell they'd bring that into play. So look, we've got to suck it up. I mean, this is patience 101, and we need to get the clear message to our community that it'll be a couple of days. Hopefully, as Anna said, they'll see some common sense about the entry points and how they can run this particular logistical nightmare, and hopefully as two leaders again we can communicate that clearly to our communities.
And Anna, the 2 cases, are they in Albury or Wodonga, just to clarify?
So our understanding is there's 2, potentially 3. 1 appears to be in Wodonga and 2 appear to be in Lavington in Albury, North Albury. We don't have a whole lot more detail than that. We do believe that 2 of those are from transmissions from Melbourne. Again, don't have real detail, so I'd hate to speculate and have that wrong.
You must be worried about it,
we do know that
though.
our community is locked down. Well, look, we've locked down really well before. So, you know, it's been more than 3 months since we've had a new case here, and that's because our community's been doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I absolutely know that our community will continue to step up, and we'll see that happen again.